Hi guys, hope you're doing well. I haven't been on YouTube for a while. It's time to make another video. This one is on curses, witchcraft and curses, and the reasoning behind throwing a curse, or let's say, is it justified to curse another person? And what are the kinds of people that you would curse? So it is let's say, a delicate subject, I think, for many of us. And if you're involved with black magic, you are certainly confronted once in a while with the situation to curse another person. You need to consider all the consequences, of course, and whether we ourselves want to engage in that type of practice. To me, it comes down to truthfulness or falseness. Let's say, if there's a person in your life you want to curse, what is the motivation behind that? I mean, if it's just a stranger on the street, I would probably not bother cursing that person. I mean, I might, but I would probably not waste my time for that person, waste my time and my energy, especially if I don't see that person again. If it's a complete stranger who pisses me off in a mundane day, in one situation, for example, I would just tell him to fuck off, and that's basically it. Yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens. Same thing applies to YouTube trolls, for example. They appear once in a while, they leave their shit. I mean, literally one of them left their shit on my YouTube account a week ago or something like that. Said to me, stop doing that shit, and then posted some kind of emoji with a pile of crap. I mean, it's good for me because it drives traffic to my channel, but it's just like, to me it does not matter at all what these people write, or if they say something like, I think I should become a more religious person and stop doing this black black magic work. Or if they say something like, I should stop doing that black magic and should instead focus on the light, or something like that. I mean, this in itself is just it's just a testament for their lack of knowledge of occult practices or of black magic. It's just ridiculous. I don't waste my time on these people at all. The same applies to complete strangers in real life, so to speak. So, what are the people that I would curse? I curse individuals who want to oppress other people. So, and I have thrown out a bunch of curses between 2020 and now in this context. Or let's say not a large number, but I've done some rituals. You can see that on my YouTube channel as well. I did the so-called Ascension rituals at the end of 2020, I think, and yeah, there were some people that needed to be taken care of, and I think the curses or the spells and the connection I have with several entities, the spells that I channel through these spirits to these people work over time, and yeah, I mean, let's just see how things unfold. Curses that I throw in my private life are usually directed towards individuals who sneak into my life and try to, with their little naive mindset, try to manipulate me, yeah, just do things behind my back. It's just sneaky stuff behind my back, basically. And yeah, I just fuck these people up heavily. I play with their mind a little bit, I curse them. I don't make a big secret out of it. I curse these people. So I don't necessarily pretend to be their best friend or something like that, but I curse these people if they try to sneak into my life and cause all sorts of shit. I take care of that, and they won't recognize that in me at all. They won't notice the signs coming. I throw these curses at such people in a way that they won't notice that this is taking place. It's taking place heavily. What I also do, I let the cards speak as a way of confirming the insights that I have gained from these people. And I mean, I've just recently had one experience or one situation, not a situation, but one person. And yeah, I mean, such people won't see it coming. They won't see it coming. It's like they have no clue about it, and this is the dangerous thing about it. So I don't do it just like that. So I need confirmation for that. I curse a person if I have some kind of insight or some kind of confirmation that this is justified. So one is, for example, I have a really good way of tapping into other people. So I can draw information from others just like that. It's when I communicate with another person, I can quite often, without really wanting to do that, I can more or less read their mind, or read not necessarily the concrete thoughts that person is having, but more or less their intention. I can read their intention. It's like an unconscious abstraction process. So I tap into their mind and extract the important information. I also collect evidence. See if the evidence in my real life situations also support this unconscious intuitive feeling of what I think about that individual. So it's an unconscious process, and I think my ability to be able to do it comes from early childhood experiences where I had to just as a way to keep my mental sanity or keep my mental health intact, was just a way to protect myself so that I can foresee situations, things coming at me. The better I was at reading the people around me, the situations, the better I was equipped regarding my own protection, basically. So I think this is the root cause for this ability. It is not always a pleasant experience, as you might expect. So it can be quite stressful quite often. So, but I cannot really imagine a life without it. It's just like this intuitive insight that I get very often with other people. For a long time I thought all people have that, but through my interaction with so many people, I realized that this was not a unique, other people have that as well, but many don't really. I curse people based on the intuitive insights that I get from these people. I curse people based on the evidence that I collect in the interactions with these people. And also, finally, I also let the cards speak to me. I do a tarot reading. I use the Thoth tarot deck, and I let the cards speak, and it is, how would you say, mind-blowing really, how precise they can be sometimes. You can just mention the name in your question along with some other information, or along with your question, how that relationship with that person will turn out in the future, for example. And I mean, I did that with that one person I'm referring to right now, and it is really this introductory statement that I made. People who are sneaking into my life, sneakiness or untruthfulness. This is what the cards really revealed. I mean, it was just literally what the cards said. It was, I have that book, the accompanying book, the whole book, and also this booklet. But of course, the little booklet doesn't tell you much. The more detailed explanations in the book, and I was positively surprised that my intuitive assessment was absolutely 100% correct. So, and then what I did afterwards, after that, I thought to myself, okay, let's give that a little bit of time. So even then I was, let's say, not really hesitant, but I was just waiting and wanted to check how things develop. But then when the evidence piles up, and finally then after a longer time period, usually I am in a situation where I feel the absolute need to do it. And I think also as I can sense from the communication I have with a number of spirits, I feel supported, and I feel very strong in the situations where I throw such a curse, and also afterwards. So I mean, it is an empowerment also. So throwing a curse, if it's justified, can also empower you as a magician. First of all, I think it can really empower you on several grounds. It can empower your connection with spirits. It can also calm your mind. Also, this is also an important point. You just think about that all the time, and then you get it out of your mind, and you can just focus on the essential things in your life. And what I want to touch on briefly again is this sneakiness, this untruthfulness. There are certain personality types, and I've talked about that in one of my videos I have on this channel. I used to have on my old channel. I used to have I think 3 or 4 of these videos. I know a lot about cluster B personality types, including people who suffer from narcissism, people who suffer from borderline, very much underrated. I think people don't quite often don't think, okay, it's just a borderliner. It's not that dangerous, or not that toxic, let's say. These are the most sneaky people. Maybe not all, but these are the most sneaky ones, because they have that emotional component. They have that emotional thing going. This is the reason why they're suffering from that condition in the first place, because they have this whole emotional shit going on all the time, and they have a lack of belief in themselves, and they try to manipulate and control people around them, control situations, try to affect what other people think about themselves and other people. They have their little army of flying monkeys that are always everywhere, and trying to support their flawed self-esteem. I mean, this is just one of these cluster B personality types, and I'm not saying that there can't be a person suffering from that who I'm just happy with, but the ones that I have met so far are just pretty much fucked up. So the cluster B personality types that are most sneaky, I would say, sociopathy, narcissism, borderline, histrionic personality type. These are the ones. These are, to be honest, I think these are the mental, the most incapable people in our society, and also the sickest people in our society, causing most of the problems that we see on a global level as well. So yeah, if a person suffering from these conditions gets more into spirituality, it's possible. Black magic can, or magic in general, can solve a lot of issues. But due to the fact that it's so ingrained in their being, it's difficult for them to really get rid of that behavior pattern or behavior patterns. If you're really advanced in magic and whatever field of magic, if you're really advanced, suffering from that condition. But let's just think about, if you're really advanced, you will probably not really suffering from these conditions. It's just my expectations. I think it's a limiting factor. I think if you have one of these conditions, I think the goals you can attain, or the things that you can attain on your path, are very limited. Yeah. So untruthfulness. This is the number one cause: falseness, sneakiness, untruthfulness, manipulative behavior. These are the people that I cursed. Because they try to sneak into your life and just cause a lot of havoc, cause a lot of unnecessary situations. It's just and the worst fear that such people have, the worst fear, is that they might lose you. I mean, they have just this little paranoid world. They're just thinking about losing you all the time. Like little, how would you say in English, clinginess or clinginess? I don't know the word right now. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I can just laugh about it, really. So, curse them. Curse these motherfuckers. If they pull you down, if you have a feeling that they want to manipulate you, if you have a feeling that they want to control you, curse these motherfuckers. Get your intuitive insight first, then collect the evidence around you in situations with them. Do that. Ask the spirits that you work with. Let the cards speak to you. Wait a little while, and then you don't need to annihilate them entirely necessarily. But my aim is always to give them a real lesson. So to really give them a little lesson, confront them with themselves, and let them be destroyed. So it's this complete destruction. So if these motherfuckers interact with me, it is usually the start of their own destruction. So you can see that from a slightly negative viewpoint, or you can see it also from a let's say, how can I put that? You can also see it from a viewpoint that I understand their mental little world, and what I do is I tap into their little world, into their little fantasy world, and I will just mess things up heavily there, so that they will land on their feet again and learn to walk. So it's just as simple as that. So it's not death necessarily, it's not total annihilation. I mean, it may be total annihilation, but not necessarily coupled with a physical death. But of course, it's always hard to pinpoint really, or hard to say how the curse unfolds. So if you throw it, you need to take into account the consequences, of course. So the consequences might be worse than you expect. So thank you guys also for supporting my work, for the new and the other subscribers who are following my work, have been following my work for a longer time. And I've just recently gained 100 subscribers, my first 100. Yeah, so let's wait how this channel unfolds, how life unfolds for me. My book is making good progress, will be published this year definitely. I have made announcements regarding the book release several times, and I have not been able to release it yet. But I'm working on it almost on a daily basis. Lots of stuff going on right now. I'm working heavily on my music. I have a metal project, a death metal project going on right now, where I play guitar and I also write lyrics. I'm very much involved in the production process, like mixing and communicating with all the members. I'm working on my solo project. And how to release my music in order to make some money with it. So lots of stuff going on, guys. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.